So we're going to, back test. You see what time it is. But before we actually back test, we just want to take a review of the trade that we took and how did we get set up for it? How do we execute for it? The thought process, everything. So let's remove this. I didn't record a video prior to uh, well, I did record a video prior to, but I didn't have an updated video. So this candle right here, this long uh, bearish candle here, high volume candle here, was the open of New York session. This is a Sunday candle. This one right here is the Friday candle. Uh, and what I did was I did my overall top-down analysis, and I got close to the price. So close to the price, what that looks like. Um, I basically boxed everything in. So price is right here. I understood my structure. I said, okay, this right here will be a 1 hour break of structure. Price gets to this point or breaks above. And same thing here. This will be a 1 hour break of structure. Price get here, break above. And then we have this recent price right here. So we see price pushed up here. It started to push down. That's the half. So I boxed it in, like I said, put an alert here. Alert was, uh, gold crossing to the upside or high, what I'm saying, something like that. And then I also had this one here, just saying basically the same thing, gold crossing the low. So you just want to box price in and react to it once it happens. So once the market open, we got this strong bearish candle pushing price down. As you see, it did. It broke under this 1 hour break of structure. Next thing you know, price came up for the retest and then rejected. So from here, I place this Fibonacci here from the high to the low point back to where it retested at. And you see it came to this 23.6. And I was looking to target this negative 27. So actually, one thing that I did with this position is I actually got in while this candle was still uh, open. I usually get in a position when the candle closed, but in this situation, I got in while the candle was still open. So it was something like this. Let's just say, because I got it. It was so one, I think it was somewhere around the 1-to-1 restore. So I had my stop loss above this here. And I actually did not go for this negative 27, but I did go for this daily right here. Um, and like I said, when we have price that's near like these major levels, like this daily level here, I'm actually gonna do this. Let's turn this to when we have price near these daily levels. I actually target those, or I've seen that price goes to these points. As you see, what I'm saying clearly. One volume candle, 2 a.m. candle, push price all the way down through negative 27, through this red zone, straight to negative 61.8. So going forth, uh, let's see. If I was just to do like a quick analyzation of what happened, I can see how negative 61.8 could have been our target. For one, we had a strong bearish candle pushing price down. You see price consolidated a bit and they pulled back to the 23.6, which simply just means, the continuation of the trend. So if we had a huge push down like this, we could have, anticipated something similar when price actually did go down. And like we did see, did push its way down to its negative 61.8. So that potentially could have been uh, a trade where we took and gained more capital. But I'm okay with the trade that I did took. So this position that we took was it wasn't out 5%. It was maybe like a 2% uh risk trade. And I ended up profiting like $122 on this trade. Uh, yeah, let's see. And that's pretty much it. Uh, it was just a simple trade at the time when that's just happening, especially when this bearish candle happened. I was out. I was out Sunday, and see price did get here, they were rejected. So I could have got in, at this close here. That would have been, a great entry. But like I said, I ended up getting in somewhere down here. You know what I'm saying? Still a good trade. You know what I'm saying? Good execution. Uh, I know prior to this trade, my analysis was for, price to continue higher. But just like I said, boxing in price, whatever scenario we have, I'm just gonna go with that because I'm open to my bias being correct, uh, and just being able to adapt to it. And so we see we is over on the downtrend, impulse, correction, continuation, correction, continuation, correction. Let's just say continuation. We got a correction, continuation. So overall, still this downtrend. Um, and you see like how I say these trend lines, not really a part of my strategy. Because you see, this is our first point, second point, point three, it sells. Point four, it push through, found support, push up. This five, this fifth touch, one, two, three, four. Yeah, this fifth touch came up and by. And this next one, came to it, consolidated a bit, and strong push down. So if I was, more so focused on trend line or my strategy, I would have seen this as oh, we broke structure, we're gonna continue higher. And there was a part of the reason why I had my bias being bullish because we did do that and we broke this, small minor structure here and pushed up. I was looking for price to do the same, come down to it, and continue up. But we see, what price actually did. And that's the point of boxing in. Price and your alert so you are aware of what price is doing and you can just adapt and react to it. Uh, so let me do this. So let's edit this alert. Add the alert here. Same thing here. Once that broke, I got the alert. Uh, alert. Thinking about keeping this one. I don't have the box that in. Keep it at this low. Price make it up here. We'll be notified about that. So let's just see what price is doing now. So I have this daily here. And what I think I'm actually going to do is update it this line because I got it behind pushing up and it's trading between it. So what I actually could do is put it at the low. Mm, yeah, let's adjust this a lot. So we put it at the low here. Support came near, what I'm saying. And with that being, that could have gave us more probability to potentially take this trade down to the 61.8 because you see in a situation like that, we broke low. I, I would have, targeted the lows I'm like, okay, let's target the lows. And you see negative 27 is here and negative 61 when it's more towards the low. So I easily could have used that. And I'm actually going to leave this here like this. This is the daily. Let's go to our actual daily time frame. See support there, touch there. For uh, it's actually a little different because I really used to close. So I might end up bringing it up some so I can it'll touch the close price rather than this what it's really happening. But if we look at the 1 hour, then it's the close price. So let's see if I should go up here real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna do it here. Close. And you see resistance, but the come back support for sure. Let's do it. I can leave it at that. Okay. Um, and I usually have this as a like daily burger structure, but I'm gonna leave it at this as this here. Just because, it's a daily breaker structure, we're gonna have to see price close under it on the daily to confirm that. And really how prices is looking now, what I really think price could be doing now that I'm looking at it, we just have to see if we do get like a close on the lower time frame. But it does look like it could be doing something like this. And that's where it gets a little interesting because I actually took a trade, not exactly like this, but when it comes to trading, you take similar setups um, and you kind of see like patterns. So I actually took a trade where uh, I had two options of placing, my Fibonacci, and the placement that I had placed was not the right one. And when price actually did go into that direction, it stopped at the point where if I placed the field correctly, would have been. Uh, so, for instance, what I'm saying is I could use this path to this low, impulse correction continuation, or it could have been something like this at that point, impulse correction. You see how the price targets are different. So this one basically this high here, 31.40. This was 31.20, so $20 difference in placement. Let's see here. And since I jumped down 4 hours, it looks better here. But it's different because you see price actually didn't pull all the way up to this time. Okay. But on the daily we see we made like a double top. Immediately price started to sell from here. So we could be actually in this continuation for the sale just based off those few things alone. But what we're looking for that breaker structure to really confirm that for us. And you see, you have to feel like this in post correction continuation. This is actually that 4 hour field. And I seen something like this too as well when I was back testing. You see how it move like this, but price actually would do something like this in post. That's correction. And that's really continuation. Instead of just being like, oh, this is our breaker structure, this right here is actually a structure here down to this point. So down to that point, you see we pulled up to 78.6. we're currently, heading in that direction. So if this is that trade, uh, down to this -27 would definitely be this trade of the week. Uh, but like I said, we really have to see price break these areas and actually go in that direction. We get our confirmation. Um, yeah, you see how this lines up with this high here, pretty much this high, these high. So there's definitely would be the target of the scenario of this trade. Like I got Forex Factory of we got core CPI, core consumer price index. That's what CPI stands for, consumer price index. Uh, Tuesday, not today. Today's Monday, so it'll be tomorrow. Unemployment claims on Thursday, so Friday we got something. Consumer sentiment. So, and looking at this, I was like, okay, price is gonna move, but we ain't got like no news on Monday. But you see, 2 a.m. huge volume count, huge volume count. So prices still move regardless if there's news or what. You know what I'm saying? Just real quick before we get into our back testing. I really wish, I wouldn't say I really wish, but what we could have done to improve in this scenario where we take that trade, of course, so my bias was for price to go higher. If we were in a setup where price sold, we could have capitalized off of that. And you see from this fear, impulse correction continuation, it was a -61.8 right here. And also there's some impulse correction continuation, -61.8. So that would have been a good position if we was in that one. Let's see. For sure. Stop the sale. We got broken structure here. That's another price good. We got continue selling. Market opening is exactly what it does. And that would have been a wonderful trade, I'm saying start off your week. And just the thing with these trades, we really don't know how long it's going to take because the market can move in different speeds, different paces. Um, but we do see, it does go in a direction. Like I said, we really can't time it based on how fast it's going to get there and how quick it's going to do it. But probably does, it does fulfill, it does fulfill those trades. That's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, had that reconstruction. Maybe 6 1 point. So they both lined up. And that was a good trade. We end up taking this one right here, and I'm fine with that. All right, so that's how things could be, but we really have to see like the breaking structure to really confirm it for us. And like I said, what's the difference or the distance between that right here? That's a lot of points, a lot of pips. So that's nearly 900 pips. So that definitely would be like a nice trade of the week uh, for that. This move right here alone was wow, 500 combined 1,000 drop right here. Mm. You can see how gold whenever see something. I had to go back and look at the actual brokerage to see what my to see what my take profit pips was, like the amount that I got. So they just say if it was right. So around like what 300. It's a lot. Okay. But yeah, we 20 minutes in. I think that's a good point to stop at uh, and actually do some back testing. Of course, you know what I'm saying, we have a break in structure. You look for price to correct before your continuation. So we just looking for price to potentially correct because we did break this low. We broke this low, retested, correct new low, broke it low. So we should be looking for price to come back and retest for the continuation. And I know I got this 1 hour break structure here. I actually can put it here now since it's the next level here. So we can move that down. Just 1 hour break structure because we had broke this low. So that's the high. Yeah. Okay, let's start the back test. So replay random. And let's end the week with the week with the and so the week has ended. All right, let's not look at the month because sometimes looking at the month give it too much information, especially if it's not the end of the month. Okay, so when we have overall prices in the uptrend, impulse, correction, continuation, correction, continuation. So overall uptrend. See, still following structure. So you probably would have targeted, you know, it's 27, but you see it actually pushed down. It went down to this 61.8, still following structure before the reversal and the continuation. Right? Okay. Correction, continuation, correction, continuation, correction, continuation, correction. Kind of looking at perfect structure. So, we can read this is the low point. So the approximate price. Same thing, just like the previous back test, we'll be back testing, 1 to 3 weeks worth the back test. Uh, but so you want my strategy is like I said, you want to stick with market structure and just box in price and just be reactive to what price actually does. So like I said, with overall trend, I do want to see where we are. Field wise, see we kind of breaking the time. Let's go down to the daily. It's a little different on the daily. I'm making you use the information still because you see the weekly codes here, but the daily is not so push that best to sell. This year, daily, daily breaking structure. price. It's in its range. Back to the 4 hour. Make sure I get all the information before I do that. Drop down to 4 hour. See here. Push them down. Price goes to 6.8. Additional here and post. See price goes lower. So I'm mistaken. This right. Maybe actually did. Okay. So this point here. So that's the half point post correction. This is your continuation. So currently this negative 27, 6.8 is up here. Look closer to the price now. So see the structure is overall trend post correction, continuation, correction, continuation, correction, continuation, correction, continuation. So you want to mark this here as your 4 hour breaking structure. This low here. We're gonna do it on Friday. 4 hour breaking structure. You see, this is a high here. This is a data breaking structure, so we'll make that there. The 5 jump below time frame. Okay, so negative 27. We have this high here. So resistance. With heavy resistance, we know we're going to need a lot of volume to really push price higher. See it here in post 23.6, just continuation of the trend. You see it goes to 27. If price continue to push higher, we could see this negative 61.8 be. So I kind of want to see if I can change this speed up. Maybe from the black to some type of lighter color. Yeah, yeah, very light, very faint. Yeah, yeah, I see the numbers. Take profit that's the break. I might end up taking blue, blue for the profit. Blue, blue, return, black. Yeah, I'm actually going. Like that, we're gonna save it like this to say as so that field one format. Okay. Uh, Okay, that's a 4 hour field. Looking at so this will actually be different, but I'm going to leave it here because it's still relevant to price and post at the correction -27. Said we see a continuation up, we get this market structure, we can be looking to target this 6118. Of course, we have this foreign market structure here. And we have, you know, this level here that we're going to watch it for. So jump down to one out. Like I said, this is really like a 4 hour field. Direction. It says the market closed like this. That's what we can do this right here. Just like how we had the other. And I see it doing that early this Monday. So we're gonna stretch it out to this Tuesday. And then do for the 1 hour. Like I said, I usually I'm actually gonna do the close. I'm gonna do the close. I was gonna say I could use the lows, but if I want to follow how I do things, it's basically the close we see we actually close out there and we're rejecting it. So we could potentially be continuing that sale. The thing is, where could we be taking it? Uh, this right here will be your 1 hour break instruction. And I'm gonna stretch this out to this week as well. 1 hour break instruction. So this is a level to be watching. This is a 4 hour break instruction, and also a 1 hour break instruction. Uh, yeah, so there's definitely a level to be watching. And of course, you know what I'm saying, we have the level above you. Actually, remove that field for now. But other than that, let's go and start this week up. Okay, so like I said, you see it clear the broke, retest in the week, and we continue to sell. So we could place a bid up here and post your correction 23.6, continue watching the trend. We see a pull to this -27. Okay, pushing could be a retest for the continuation of the sale. Yeah, that's exactly what it did. So I pushed up to this point that's rejecting. I'm gonna take it a step at a time. So definitely would have been a good trade to get out here. If you see it's doing it now, these highs. But we're looking to see if it make get to these levels. Yep, still pushing. Push to where let's get this level. This. It's been super clean with these breaks and retests. You see, it's a break, came back, retest, push lower, push lower, push up, go under, push up. And it made its way all the way to what is this? This weekly level. So this is our weekly level here. Because you see we close above on the weekly. And this is basically like price pushing back. Could be a retest for a continuation. Um, but we just know we hold above these two levels. Okay, so right here, make this bullish engulfing here at this weekly point. Okay, so what happened here? So this is actually Monday. So you see we had this strong push down. So we made it to this weekly level. We had this bullish engulfing. I was pushed up to this point here again. And then it gave us a nice rejection here. Overall, still bullish because we do not break these structures here. So just being mindful of that, even though price is doing this here. Okay, we got a break of this 4 hour. Currently at this 1 hour. There it is. So price could be looking to sell. So 6.18. Percent 60. So we got that break under. So what I'm looking to do is just basically we got the direction as bearish now. I'm just looking to take the continuation. You see, we had a lot of opportunities here, especially with this right here. And I actually missed this detail here, so I could have seen that as that break structure. That was correction if I did that. Like bearish candle, we could have placed our feet up there then. But as it was happening, I was trying to see which side prices are. But partly since we got this clear break here and price pushing back, we're looking for the correction for price to continue. Okay, my thing here. saying where can I be looking to take this trade to, and we can target this negative 27, about 200 points. Uh, get back to these highs. So let's see. Sure. I could see this week potentially continue to be bearish, so it could go even further. That's the thing with that. Let's see. So, okay, so it's just the open right here, basically. I'm kind of leaning towards taking this position down to this 61.8. But I really think it could make its way there. It's still super early. It's a Tuesday. And if we break there, we can see price going way further. But like I said, I'm here to learn. Uh, and we're going to give it a try. So I just want to make sure I'm getting in at the correct time, like I said. But I'm definitely looking to target this 61.8. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so let's let this do this because at your impulse value correction, and this look like it could be forming that. So let's see if price gets like this low. See how it reacts then. And push up even further. It's at the 61 from that. Wait to the 61 from that right here as well. It's pushing up the high. So you could see this go even higher. Okay, so like I said, we did get that breaker structure here. So my bias is still around looking for the continuation of the sale. Uh, Like I said, we're going to adjust if the market shows us otherwise. So let's just see how far price goes before we actually potentially continue to sell. Let me see something. If I'm to get in here at this point, see this is the low. And let's just say we place our stop loss above this high here. And we target the low. That gives us a 220. If we target at 27, it gives us almost 360. I think that's, for me personally, it could go there. And I know, you mentioned it. early, but it was like more prices here. But for us to be out here up here, and it's nearly Wednesday, I can potentially see myself targeting negative 27 instead of the 16 point. So, like I said, if I want to get in here, it would be something like that. Like I said, stop losses above here. Let's give it a try. So we are risking 250. So can't do that position because it's too much. So let's go down to about 18. See, can't do that either. Let's go down to 17. See, 256. I really want to keep it at let's go to 15 and just leave it at that. So let's go to sell. Stop losses here. Take profit is here. All right. Let's talk about it. So this trade here, well, really for one, I will say my entry was rushed. Like I said, when your mind get like caught up on the potential profits you can make, it can blind you to the loss that could be possible. So for me to want to enter at this point here, really without I'm saying confirmation, uh, wasn't the best thing for us to do. Uh, and you see, I really didn't have a confirmation. There was no break of structure. There was no retest. It was just purely what I think. And you see what I think, what I'm saying, was not the proper, what I'm saying, wasn't the proper way of approaching this market, what I'm saying. And you see immediately, what I'm saying. So what we did was broke this structure here. After we have a break of structure, have a retest, price pushed up, came back, retested, so impulse correction. So impulse. So impulse correction, 50%, negative 27, 61 here. You see it's exactly Okay, so yeah, I was blinded. Yeah, look at it continuing on to the upside. Okay, so I clearly missed something. I overlooked something, but I'm allowed this week to go ahead and finish playing. It's either 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 15. So this is the end of the week. So, okay, how did, pardon me, how did I miss this trade for the continuation once we had this breaking structure? Excuse me. So basically, it was still bullish. Of course, uh, like I said, we had this here and breaking structure. So what I used there was like, okay, pipe up under and let it know the direction it wants to go. And we see it pushing up. It really would have been like temporary, but we have to remember that, you know. So this is basically like a retest. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see what happened here. So going into this week, we seen that there was a weekly breaking structure, and now this was just a retest for the continuation high. Okay, I let that slip out of my mind. Uh, and that's exactly what it did. Price came up. Uh, let's see. All it did just made a field. Yeah, post correction, -27, retest the trend, and then pushed up from there. Yeah, so this right here definitely would have been that field, like I said, from this low to the high. And we're not in that situation live, but we definitely could have been leaning towards this 61.8 as our target for my entry. Yeah, that would have been a nice trade. Um, you see the market open here, then get out set up Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, got around Wednesday, midpoint of the week for the continuation up. Okay. So I guess the thing to take from this is, overall, remember your like what price is doing on major structure. Like we had this weekend as a break of structure, and after you have a break of structure, you have a correction before the continuation. You have the correction here with this field, and you really have to look at it from like a major point of view. So if we looked at it from a major point of view, we would have seen that this could have potentially been a retest for the continuation. Okay, we're gonna learn from it. We're gonna make the adjustments. So what I'm going to do is do all of this, delete all of this, so that we can end this real quick. So we end up taking a loss for this week of trading, but there definitely was a lesson to be learned from that.